What's going on, YouTube? Back with another video. Today we're going to be playing some Field the Rush. This was one of the first decks that I ever got to play with like a year ago and became like kind of good with, and it was kind of good, and I played it in Masters. So it has a special place in my heart. I love that here about a year later, I get to like come full circle and play the deck and have it still be relevant, still be kind of good. It's kind of a cool thing about LOR. A lot of nostalgia there. For anyone that doesn't know the deck, it's pretty straightforward. It's a control deck. You got Shadow Isles, Freljord, all the good stuff, Vile Feast, Flash Freeze, Avalanche, Ravine, the box, particularly against Ahri Kennen these days. Withering Whale, same sort of shtick. You got some ramp, Catalyst of Aeons, and then you got your top end win condition, which is Trundle and Tryndamere, and getting them out with Field the Rush. And then, of course, some decks like this one currently runs the one Ledros Attrocity package because just getting out a gigantic guy is not always good enough. Sometimes you need to throw it at their face. The Ledros being able to hit them for 10 potentially, and then Atrocitying to their face for 9, not bad. Kind of a 2-card combo win condition. Also, after you Field the Rush, Atrocities now become lethal. Or you can just chip damage them down with trundles and little guys. Happens sometimes. And then just throw a huge trundle at them. Yeah. Deck is pretty straightforward. The real key to it is mapping out your turns in advance. You typically cast one spell a turn. That's about, if you were to map it out, to math it out, it would be like 1 point something, because occasionally you cast 2. But you're basically never casting 3 unless it involves a pillar. So, like I said, mapping out your turns in advance, very, very important. Kennen Ahri is a deck that I haven't played this matchup specifically. I played a whole bunch of Kennen Ahri. I've basically been a Kennen Ahri main this season. And I played a bunch of Field the Rush. But I haven't played this matchup specifically. So, what do we want? Don't want Ruination or Vengeance. They're a little on the slow side. Trundle, I don't hate, but doesn't seem like it's going to be doing a whole lot in this matchup. I'm going to keep a Vile Feast because it can threaten to kill things and makes a blocker. Avalanche is great. Wouldn't mind seeing a box get picked up. Tryndamere is not what we want. An 8-drop that just gets bounced back to our hand that does nothing for most of the game. Not super exciting. So...
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you.
Ooh, interesting. I'm just going to drop a sentry. So, okay, so I'm already planning out next turn. Next turn we'll be able to avalanche. I don't want to avalanche just yet, though.
Nothing escapes my watch.
So we typically want to be keeping box or avalanche for after they play their 4-drop that summons 2 1-drops. That I can never remember the name of. But you know what I mean. That card. Aha! There's the box. Okay, perfect.
For the homestead.
So we'll get an attack in. We're happy to trade our sentry. If they block, that's fantastic.
Want to see these moves up close?
We're good with that. Oh. Choose not to block. She's probably smart.
I have mastered the rain, lightning, and cloud stuff.
Okay, so this is where things get interesting. Do we want to avalanche? Probably not. We're just killing the one Kennen. They obviously have a lot of ways to protect their things with things like Twin Discipline. Again, I think we're still just passing. So we're gonna burn 1 mana here, but it's fine. We don't really have great uses for our cards at the moment. And we're happy to have all the spell mana get filled up. Because in most matchups, this one included, we are the control deck. So we are trying to survive to the late game. Okay. That's okay. You got lots of different answers for that.
Stay safe.
I'll take it from
Ooh,
here.
double conspirator is pretty good. So now the question is, do we avalanche right now? It's a pretty good avalanche. Or do we see if they're going to play out one of these, which is very unlikely. Because we want to block here, though, I'm gonna go ahead and pass. Because if we,
Balance.
oh
in
wow,
all
they go for it. Yeah, so now we are definitely avalanching. Again, trying to just see. We would have, if we had avalanched before, we would still be taking 5 from this blade twirler. That's why it was okay to just pass, chump block the blade twirler, and avalanche after the attack, because they only take 4. And then also the potential of them playing out another unit, which they choose to do here, which is fantastic, which they can't really protect now. If we avalanche, they can mark this in response. This will go to 7, because it'll stun our sentry. But I guess we're going to Vile Feast it. Yeah. And then they can bounce it back to their hand, but that resets it. We don't care about it at all. Okay. Yeah, so this worked out fantastic. My cat's eating my headphone cord. No, kitty. They're going to recall there. So, we can Vile Feast a response. But we don't want to eat 9 here. And the spider will get killed by the avalanche.
Here's our
And we just don't
chance.
care about Kennen that much.
Now who's got the upper hand?
A 9 power quick attack, however, you know, don't mind just getting rid of that right
Pick on
now.
some at your own speed.
How about I pick on you, you adorable fluffy-tailed fox?
Zigged. Should have sagged.
Should have sagged. Okay. So we're going to attack here, mostly just a pass priority. You know, the 1 damage, not that relevant. Yes, we do want to get it in before they play blockers. But, okay, so we're forced here to pass. It's, you know, we would love to cast our Catalyst, but if they were to drop a 4-drop, we would not be happy. So I think we're still just going to keep passing. Now it becomes a game of cat and mouse, because if we don't box right now, then we won't get a chance to. I think we'll just take this. Our opponent's probably going to play out this Kennen. A higher level opponent probably wouldn't. Okay. Because we have the second box, though, that makes me much more inclined to fire it off a little bit earlier there. Because this is the spot you want to be in, where they are forced to attack, and then you can box. Though, a good opponent can get tricky and just not attack when you pass back to them. They have 8 mana, so we're 1 away from being able to do both of these. What we really want is for them to tap, for them to go under 4 mana, so that we know they can't use Aha. So just like that. Now, though, again, we're going to pass priority. The problem, though, for them is that we are still at a very healthy life total. Also, they played the wrong Kennen. So now we're going to go ahead and ramp. So we can feel the rush next turn. They have denies, of course.
Now you will see my final move.
This is slightly less ideal. Fox, Droplet. I think we just have to pass still. Wow, Ledros is a card. So this is where playing this matchup is really tough, because if you tap out, if we use all our mana for Trinimir, they bounce it. We've basically, we've used our turn. Same thing with Field of Rush if they counter it. Ledros, at least they can bounce Ledros. Or they can deny his ability. But at least then either you hit them for 8 or you have a blocker. Compared to these two where if they bounce or counter, it's just like you basically just skipped your whole turn. I kind of want to try and just get denies out of their hand. Can they kill us this turn? Block 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh wow, Ahri would be leveling. Yikes. Oh, but they couldn't play an Ahri. Okay. Because if they use 4 here to deny, they can't Ahri. They can still bounce one of our 2 units that comes in though. And stun. So if anything, I'm actually I'm trying to get a deny out of their hand. I'm hoping they bite here and just choose to deny. Then on our turn, we could go Ledros them to 8, and then Atro would be lethal. Again, though, they could have deny or they could have bounce to counter the Atro. So they're thinking about it. We're kind of just presented with a lot of bad options. Ooh, I forgot Trinimir would turn into a Battle Fury. That can become lethal pretty quickly. The old combo of Atroing your Trinimir and then having it level, like, not die. It's still just level up. It used to be a lot more common. You don't see that as much now. There's a lot more answers to Tryndamere. Looks like they'll probably bounce one. Oh, they're just going to stun one. Okay. Well, that lets them get in for quite a bit of damage.
The silent death.
So, I think we just block here.
More than that.
And we don't want to give them another stun, so I think we'll just block there. It's this to 9. Okay. Start here. Yup. So this kind of sucks. If we play a pillar, they can potentially get another mark to mark a Tryndamere. Worth it, though, because it levels up our Trundle, which is much larger. So we're going to start there.
I'm gonna make a U-sickle. You're in my kingdom now.
We again have sort of just not fantastic options. But we do have ways of presenting lethal, which is always good. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so our Tryndamere is going to get stunned. How big is this going to be?
Knock 'em dead.
It's going to be 16-11. Our opponent is conveniently also at 16.
Come on, come on! Smashing! Death itself can't
Do I just
stop
pull this?
me.
Trying to think what happens if I pull here. I can block Kennen.
Get ready for a beatdown.
This is like a pretty tough spot. There's a lot of options. If they go for a bounce or a stun, I think we just throw Trundle at their face. And then they're just, yeah, they only have 3 mana and then they can't do anything. Great. Triple check. 3 mana. I don't think there's anything. Just trying to remember. As long as you forget about one card, when you're going for like, this is it, right? If they stop us here, we basically lose the game. So it's good to just, you know, just take a second, think it through. It's much nicer when you have your opponent's deck list, an open deck list like a tournament or something. You can just go through card by card by card, confirm. Nope, there's nothing. Got him. Yeah, so a little bit fortunate there. Not sure if our opponent had the ability to deny the Feel the Rush and maybe just felt like they weren't that afraid of it. Or they just didn't have the deny. And if they did have the deny, very good chance that we just lose that game. And that's kind of how it goes sometimes. Okay, this is typically a pretty bad matchup. We're kind of playing the same deck, except they have the better late game. So you definitely don't want things like Avalanche, because both decks are going to have a bunch of Avalanches. What we do want is to go... we probably want Commander Ledros. Ledros would be very good as a recurring threat that keeps hitting their Nexus. I wonder if we go full Mull. Get rid of this. Sentry's not terrible, just because like it's basically just draws a card, so it's kind of like it's kind of free. You end up just doing nothing in this matchup because both of you are just full of Avalanche effects. And then Trundle is actually like at least a threat. Okay, so I guess I'm not gonna be super greedy here. Maybe I should be. Maybe we should be full mulling for trying to find our one of Ledros. It's possible. It's like we have things like Atro, but like their deck is full of freezes and removal. So it's not exactly super exciting to try and throw your big unit at them and just have them freeze it or kill it in response. Okay, Tryndamere technically kind of hard to deal with as it doesn't just die. Eventually you have to start casting your avalanches just to get cards out of your hand, because otherwise you'll start burning. Super happy to be ramping. We definitely want to just be throwing down threats as quickly as possible.
Warm hearts and hot soups.
Yep. Stuff like this happens. You just gotta throw things out there and
One's on the house.
do what you can. Do we want to trundle right now?
The trolls
Sure.
are going to war.
I guess be mana efficient. 3, 6, 7, 8. Just want to make sure we don't burn.
If they're out there, I'll
Okay.
spawn. I'll knock 'em dead.
3, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I've carved meat bigger than you.
Interesting.
Come back next time.
Huh. Okay, I think I screwed this up. There was really no reason to do that. It was just greedy. Yeah, that was dumb.
But I'm
I guess I just threw away my trundle for no reason.
Welcome to the tipsy hour.
Being greedy. Okay. That might make all the difference. Because having one extra gigantic leveled up overwhelmed unit here would have been fantastic. They went to cast something and then just pulled it back. I guess knowing that we're going to cast our pillar.
for the thrill.
I don't feel like we have the time to just not be doing stuff. Huh, okay. Interesting. So, no Anivia on their side, which is Great, love to see it.
Death
I'm
itself
gonna
can't
pull this
stop
guy.
me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now, if they were gonna burn, then we would grab it. Maybe. Yeah, I probably still won't grab it. Yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of this happening.
Here in your time of need.
So, we don't actually want to kill Anivia right away. Because then they can start bringing back a bunch of copies of Anivia.
This'll take the chill off.
I don't even know if this is worth playing out. Do we want to put a box? She's gonna die pretty soon anyway. Like, they'll just block Tryndamere. And she'll die. Maybe this is a waste. Maybe there's, you know what, there might have been a time when we're gonna kill multiple Anivias and maybe we need the box to, like, clear out a bunch of eggs. I mean, we have Avalanche, though. Yeah, so we can still Ruination Avalanche after a Harrowing. But we're still not winning the game, though. That's the big problem. Just gonna level up next turn.
For my homeland!
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's the block I'm probably gonna make.
Endless cold. Endless peace.
Because the longer we can keep her from dying the first time, the longer it is until they can start reanimating her. So we've got a whole lot of nothing going on currently. Yeah. So all this stuff's gonna die. Trying to think if I want to put down my Ravine to get rid of the Anivia egg. The Anivia's gonna look. The Anivia's not actually gonna die. Now that I think about it, right? Because I think, yeah, she's gonna level up first. So she'll have one more health. Shoot. I don't know exactly how this is going to play out during the upkeep or during the beginning of turn. We're going to find out, though. Oh, looks like they might try to sacrifice Anivia. In which case, maybe if it's like a gluttony or something, we're probably going to vengeance a response.
Eternal winter.
Okay, so it does give it vulnerable. Wasn't 100% sure if I was going to do that or not. So there's a chance we don't attack again because we don't want Anivia to die. But at this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cards in hand. For sure they're going to be able to kill this Anivia. Do we want to force it, though? I don't think so. Let them have a chance to make a mistake. We'll just attack. We have to put damage on them. It's the kind of only reason we're attacking here.
I will endure.
Yeah, okay. Gun for 7. One thing that kind of sucks is now if we field a rush or something at Tryndamere, it'll die to a Ruination. Yeah, now we're in a bit of trouble. Maybe we'll start with a ravine. We'll probably go avalanche. Oh, but that takes away our ruination avalanche potential. Ooh, this also puts us down to 5, which means we can't cast a vengeance here if they go for a gluttony. Oh, they're gonna glimpse. We're like kind of okay with that. Though again, not having a backup avalanche, like if this was another avalanche instead of a ravine, we'd be totally fine. Because they would go harrowing, and we would just go ruination and then avalanche all the eggs away. Oh, they have to do this so they don't burn. Let's see. The ravine's going to take them to 9. So technically, Attrocity is lethal if they just somehow totally tap out of mana. Let's see. Ruination. Just slam it. Just slam a Ruination. Oh, actually, you know what? Heralding does it too, eh? We just, like, boop them right now, right? 1 mana. Psychic Curiosity. Tavern Keeper doesn't actually proc when it comes in, but might as well just do it now. Keep putting shenanigans. Ba-boom! You see why they made Atrocity go from 6 mana to 7 mana? Card is good! Especially when people are not used to playing it against it, or if they just don't have any outs to it. Though with that many cards in hand, I gotta think that they maybe could have played around it there. Go Smurf account! Alright, real quick update. Let's see. Where are we? I'm gonna have to do climbing on the main account. We've slipped down to 20th now, and we'll continue to fall with another, what is it? 1, 2.5 weeks to stay in top 30. Probably not going to happen. So probably need to play on the main account. We need to go up to like 550, so we need like 3 wins. I guess I'll record those. I think I'll record those. I don't like talking while I'm like tryharding, but I think what I'll do is I'll just record, and then I'll go back maybe over and talk about it as I'm going. That'll work. All right, guys. As always, keep a winning mindset. You cannot lose. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Bye.